Hey guys, so Amber posted today. Um, some people have been able to cover it, other people haven't. I thought I'd take a whack at it sooner than later. Um, my sleep is all sorts of messed up. I wanted to give the little microphones, the lapel microphones, another shot. Thank you again, Nerfy, for sending them to me. I think I actually figured them out. At least using them on my tablet seems to work really well. I can't yet have my tablet charging at the same time, so I'm gonna have to figure a workaround about that, like some sort of splitter or something. But um, I mean, my tablet's fully charged right now, so I'm not too worried about it. Um, Hopefully closed captioning will be on. I'm going to see how that looks. If it doesn't seem to really capture what Amby's saying, I'll turn that off, but I wanted to make sure that people could catch what she's saying. Um, I took this not from YouTube, so really Amber can't even go after me for this because I'm not getting it from there. Um, but if you want a link, you can DM me in Discord and it will be provided. But we provide it in the Discord anyway. So I'm trying not to talk too excitedly slash loud because I've come to find out this lapel mic is actually really good. It picks me up very clearly. And occasionally you're going to hear a sort of noise in the background, like a notification ding sort of thing. Um, that's a tablet I got with the whole internet connectivity program thing. Um, it's somewhere around. I don't really use it because it was supposed to be like a 10-inch tablet. It ended up being an 8-inch tablet, and it wasn't even like a name brand thing. It sucks ass. So it is what it is. Um, so yeah, I just thought before I made myself something to eat, probably another one of my burritos, which the filling actually came out pretty awesome. I just have to half the rice that I use next time. It is a bit more rice heavy than anything else, but you know, it was my first time using the recipe, so it's good to learn. Um, so, and I learned how to actually fold a burrito now. Thank you, old El Paso. I just snorted there. I'm such a fucking nerd. Um, and I cussed before the 8 minutes. Well, hopefully, I technically not even monetized yet. So if I ever get to that point, hopefully YouTube will be at a point where I won't get dinged for that. So I'm going to get into things because I don't know how long this video is. You tell me. Oh, 12 minutes. It's down at the bottom. Or dirt. Um, so yeah, I'm going to start getting into it and let's get ready to rage.
Hello, hello. Welcome to a new video. So this is not clickbait. Yes, I will be talking about the things that are being said about Tommy. So I actually already have a couple videos.
Emily. Her name is Emily. We all know this. And even if it wasn't because of the farms, Emily made that little thing for you where it says E plus A, but of course to everyone else, or A plus E, I'm sorry, because it looks like it says 8. So, we all thought that was hilarious. Um, oh, right. It possibly couldn't say 8 because Emily's not a feeder. Right, Amber? Yeah. So, um, she can keep saying Tommy, but it's Emily. And Emily must be feeling really upset about the coworker sort of blowing up her past relationship, or else probably Ember wouldn't even be doing this video.
It's really exciting videos and happy videos. Filmed. I don't have them edited yet or anything like that, but I do have them up. That was what was going to be going up next. But
if you apparently had all this content already filmed and everything else, why isn't it up? It apparently doesn't take that long to edit, according to people who do the whole editing thing. And apparently, I guess the way Amber does it is extra lazy, from what I've been told. So I don't get why she's saying it like it's some sort of Herculean effort, because apparently it's not. She's gonna try to milk the ad revenue come down the road, and that's why I'm not even watching this through YouTube. I don't want to give her the money. I don't. She doesn't deserve it. She is a horrible person. I think that I think that maybe she deserves exactly whatever she's going to get with Emily. I know other people are nicer and they don't say things like that, but that's how I feel. I'm a believer in karma or Darwinism. And if Amber wants to waddle off a cliff, I say let her.
Since this has happened, I feel compelled. Like, there are a lot of times where rumors are happening and things are being said where I just keep my mouth shut. Maybe I'll like mention it like on the low, maybe like on Instagram or just in passing. But like this video is like strictly dedicated. I even wrote something because I wanted to be like in a clear mind. And as you guys know, I love to.
I hope it's not one of her slam poetries. Rain and Petals Eavesdrop just can't be beat, Amber. Can't be beat.
Right? I love to journal. I'm able to collect my thoughts so much better in writing versus like speaking out loud. You guys know me. Like, your girl can't speak half the time. And I'm not gonna lie.
Half the time? For the most part, you talk like a kindergartner. So that's about where your eloquence level is. It's where your emotional and actual intelligence level seems to be hovering at. You know, at 5 years old, I was reading Charlotte's Web. I was apparently drawing things that people could actually recognize what they were. You are so frustratingly dumb. Okay? And I know that it seems like I'm being mean, but especially when it comes to intelligence or the lack thereof, and somebody that is openly trying to be a role model to people, it bugs me when they behave in manners such as Amber does. The misinformation, the levels of stupidity, the just the in the many different ways that she is just outright wrong. Wrong in her behavior, wrong in her thought processes, wrong in her facts. It frustrates me. This is why I do occasionally do videos about her, because people need to be aware of the danger she actually is. She is a danger because there are other people out there just like her, and she helps them feel like their behavior, because it's like her behavior, is okay. There are, you know, current things that seem a bit culty going on in the world as we understand it that are very similar. This is why I talk about these things, shine lights on them, and will continue to do so.
I have a lot of anxiety right now filming this video. And when I am anxious, my brain does not work correctly. Like, words do not come out.
Your brain does not work correctly because you're so heavy. Your brain is actually not getting the appropriate oxygen because all the fat is making it harder for you to breathe. And this is actually not me being mean. This is just biology and science actually being discussed. I used to be even more chest heavier than I am now because of the fact that I was much heavier than I am now. Almost 150 pounds heavier than I am now. And I had difficulties sometimes breathing, especially if I was sleeping on my back. I was never actually diagnosed with sleep apnea. I don't technically have sleep apnea, but there were just positions that I could not be in because of the weight that would be on my lungs. That's just facts.
I'll come out correctly. I just feel very, like, a lot. It just feels like a lot right now. So I decided to write, like, in journal form, the way that I would write in my journal. And I am going to read it to you guys because it's going to help me, because I do feel very anxious and I do want to, like, have collective thoughts. I don't want to forget anything. And this is
Emily probably walked her through exactly what she's about to say. That's why it's written out. Do not mistake this. She is actually not really exhibiting signs that scream to me anxiety, nervousness, nothing like this. And I actually have diagnoses for things like depression and anxiety. And, I have ADHD and other neurodivergent things that I am working on getting official diagnoses on. So it takes one to know one, and she's not bothered. Guys, she actually took the time to wash her hair, not really style it, but you can tell her hair is washed. She did her makeup, even put some jewels on her face. She got herself gussied up. When I'm feeling too anxious, I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off, which I actually saw in the old Faces of Death movies. Bleh. I don't recommend. Um so, this is not that. She is going into this prepared. She's not feeling anxious. I would not even be surprised if Tommy is sitting there in the room. Or, for all we know, until I see both her ears exposed, she has Tommy in her ear. Like she was when she was doing the live stream stuff before she went to Wisconsin. We didn't hear Tommy, but Tommy was present during those live streams on her phone. Excuse me, Emily. Emily was listening to everything Amber was saying and contributing. And I think she's contributing right now in at least whatever's written on the page.
This is very important to me that I get this out in this moment. So before I read it, I just want to explain, like, in short form, this is about a reaction channel who was contacted by Tommy's ex-girlfriend's ex-wife. And this woman was a...
She's talking about, oh lordy, it's Jordy. I'm going to say it because, of course, she doesn't want people going to go look at the live in which he covers everything. Um, and by the way, he does. He covers the conversation they had. Um, and the farms took screenshots of all the screenshots he shared. Um, they also found the woman. They found the ex that we will find out that Emily stole. And I'll probably have to get into why I'm using air quotes for that. Um, apparently, this seems completely plausible. She apparently did not make it hard to find out who she is. Um, and so it does seem like even the farms is thinking that what was provided to Jordy was credible. And it might be disturbing for some. So if you decide to go to the farms, take that with a grain of salt, especially since at some point they do dox her information. I don't know if it's a change of address form, like so it's an old address, just to show that she at least at that time resided in Wisconsin to help timelines, as Amber calls it. But that's the only bit of actual doxing that I saw happen. Everything else was like social media pages and stuff like that. So I have to catch up on that because apparently somebody in this whole thing has a record. I don't know yet now if it's Emily. I've had problems, as I've told you guys before, about me sleeping or the lack thereof. So, um, yeah, I'm still trying to fix my sleep schedule. Hold on a second, I have to cough. Sorry about that. It's a little dry in my apartment because of heat. Um, so yeah. Um, I know I'm talking a lot, but context is important. And I know Amber is the type that she tries to hide a lot of it. Like cats hiding their poop.
Was immediately put on a pedestal, and everything that she said was believed. People have taken everything that she said as gospel and as truth because a lot of you want someone to hate, and it's easy for you guys to hate Tommy for whatever reason.
As of this point, for the record, I don't hate Emily. I do hate Amber, but I don't hate Emily. And she's trying to gaslight people here in this moment. Don't get it twisted. And I'm certainly not Amber. I did not take what this X of an X was saying as gospel. I waited until the farms dug this information. I know some people really don't like the farms, you know, um, especially when they decide that someone needs to be exposed. People kind of have differences on the methods that they use and stuff. As far as I feel, yes, sometimes they go too far. But then again, if there weren't people here like Amber, like Emily, Kiwi Farms wouldn't exist. um so yes, I do use the farms as sort of a resource in trying to make sure that any information might be coming from an accurate source. Um, I did that when I discussed Emily. There are, I think, 2 videos because I had to break it down into 2 videos because there was a lot to go over, and I used the farms as a source. Um, and I know that potentially puts my blood in the water for them, but I don't think I behave in any manner that will have them wanting to come for me. I mean, I'm honest to a fault. I am actually doing things that I say I'm going to do, especially when it comes to my health and weight loss journey. Um, I don't abuse my pets or people. I'm not a shitty person, far from. I take extra steps because of the fact that I understand I'm neurodivergent to ensure I'm not going to be a shitty person. Because I don't use my issues to have excuses to be a bad person, a shitty person. I take it to understand myself and to just try to be a better person with that understanding. If I fuck up with somebody, I apologize. If someone says I hurt their feelings, I apologize. Even if what I said was technically accurate, and I was just trying to be helpful in the ways that I am, I still hurt their feelings. So I'm going to apologize for that much at least. You know, it, this is why more recently I've been actually calling myself the Bizarro Amber, though technically she'd be the Bizarro me because I'm 10 years older. Um, but I mean, we have similar starting points, except a lot of my stories are true. Um, and we came out to be vastly different people because I decided I wasn't going to be a shitty person. I know I've said it in other videos and I'll say it again here. I can't even remember when this thought initially crossed my mind. It might have been shortly after I moved here in 97, so I was still a teenager. But this I have a bunch of different like little mantras that I say, and one of them is I don't want to be the type of person that when people finally go to my funeral, they just go to talk about how much of an asshole I was. Um, and you know, Amber's the opposite. I mean, she'd probably say that she's just like me in this regard. But Amber, people will go to your funeral and all they're going to do is talk about what a horrible person you were to them, to those around you, to your pets who are just fashion accessories. And yes, it's frustrating that in at least most of the states in the United States, pets are just simply considered property. So yes, technically, you could do whatever you wanted to them. It doesn't make it right. So yeah, I know I kind of went on, again, a little bit of a tangent, but um again, the farms does seem to actually really know who this person was. And so any inferences to this person being alleged or not even really knowing them, or it's just, it seems to be bullshit. Um, and this person isn't trying to do it for monetary means. I disagree with anyone who's saying that. this did not come from, I believe, a good place necessarily. This feels like a woman scorned. This woman has been upset. Even though she's apparently moved on, she now has a wife. Whatever Emily did with that ex, this woman has not forgotten it. And it has turned into a poison inside of this woman. This is why I always advocate to try to let things go um, as quickly as you can, because harboring those sorts of feelings, it can become toxic. And I think this whole situation is kind of an illustration of that, because yes, some people are enjoying the fact that there's tea now, and we get to understand more of how not good of a person Emily is. And yes, there is all that, but this is somebody that, unless everything is found out to be a complete lie, this person was not only wronged by, well, her partner, because it wasn't really Emily's doing that the ex left. That was the ex's choice. And that's why before, the whole stolen thing is was in air quotes. If someone chooses to leave you, they weren't stolen. They decided to go. It sucks. And sometimes in the manner in which it's done is far from right or acceptable. But it happens. And I don't like it when the person who has cheated or otherwise decided to leave is not the one that actually has been the focal point of said blame. So I guess that's why I'm going into it like I am. So, yeah, this, when I watched Jordy's live, that's the impression I got. This wasn't Alexis. This wasn't Brittany and Erica. This was a woman still hurting years later over something that transpired with her ex and Emily. And maybe she's finally letting that venom out. And I hope she feels better. Again, if it's true, I'm going to leave that little bit of potential doubt, because I don't know the woman myself, so I can't feel 100% certain. But I tend to have a really good gut when it comes to getting a feel on people, to understanding people, to being able to read people. I think I just said that twice. But again, my sleep has been me. So, yeah, that's where I'm coming from in this. So, please, whenever Amber opens her mouth, she is the one that you always have to not only second guess, but triple and maybe even quadruple guess. Because she thinks she's so much smarter than she is. And if you know how to spot it, she lies as often as she breathes. And that's more often than she eats. Okay? Just to put that in context.
Reason. You guys don't know her in person like I do, and I'm telling you, she is lovable and likable, and I am happy and in love with her. And I know a lot of people want to twist this really dark narrative, but I'm telling you, it's not real. So I'm sorry I couldn't be a little more put together, and I'm sorry that I'm bad with my words. The fact that I have to.
Again, she is actually put together. Look at her. Her hair is clean. Guys, I think she actually took a shower. Okay? She has rings on. She has earrings on. That fucking choker. Though I do think she actually moved on from Feline slash Jade slash Wipey slash whatever, because we have not seen the feeder necklace in forever. So there's that. She has not only just her typical makeup on, but she has her little eye gems on. She has the filters going because you can't see the mole on the other side of her nose. Like, girl came here to play. Okay? And I mean that.
I have to literally look like this and read to you guys, but it's what is going to work best for me, which I have done this before, and it's usually only during like super like anxiety inducing situations for me, and I do it in my real life as well. There are multitude.
If anxiety is going to become her new hectic, I might have to scream into a pillow, guys.
Of times in my life where instead of like speaking to someone, I will write something and then I'll read it off to them. It's helpful, it's therapeutic. I learned it years and years ago, actually in therapy, probably like when I was like 17 or something. And ever since then, it has greatly helped me. But I am sorry that I will be facing this way the whole time. But yeah, please hear me. Like, please hear me. I know there's a difference between like listening to someone and that's that, goes in one ear and out the other. And you build your assumptions and you don't really care. But like, I need you guys to hear what I am saying, please. I truly hate that I have to do this. I want my
Amber, believe it or not, I pay very close attention to what you say. I pay close attention to what a lot of people say. Earlier, I surprised someone with apparently how well I've already read them in the little interactions that apparently we've had, because I know they're a sucker for accents. But whether or not I like a person, but more when I do like people, I pay attention. You know, because words are important. Words hold power. Words can tell you everything. What is said, how it's said. So you don't get anything past me. Just like when it came down to it, after I've actually gone through therapy, I understand how much you remind me of my biological mother. And I know that's why I hate you. Because if you were just another random person, I wouldn't care. I mean, I'd have issues with you and how you behave, but I wouldn't hate you. So, yes, I know there's transference going on and stuff like that, but that helps me pay attention to you more. And that helps me try to warn people about you better. You know, the other day you were crying about how people were making you think maybe you shouldn't be on YouTube anymore, but you needed to do it because of money. That if you keep this sort of stuff up, I think you're going to be rethinking that again. You have to hope soon that Tommy's just going to want to take care of you. Excuse me, Emily. But I'm still not even convinced she wants you to move in. I'm not convinced.
Channel to reflect what's real in my life and not constantly having to make videos like this, defending Tommy's character because of a reaction channel who is so hungry for views and money and hot tea that they have created a whole false storyline that has thousands.
Jordy did not create this storyline. Even if it's found out to be a fabrication, Jordy was just sharing what was provided to him. So, yes, maybe he should have done his due diligence a little bit better. And he should have shared that he did his due diligence. Maybe he should have asked to, see proof that they actually worked at the same place altogether. Stuff like that. Maybe had a face to face, like Zoom call or something that was off the record, to so he knew that the person that was presenting the facts is actually the person that's involved in all this. I think he could have done a better job. Just like he could have done a better job with interviewing like Erica and Brittany, kind of talking to Alexis. He's just not the best interviewer. And again, neither was Karina. I enjoy Karina, but I didn't enjoy the interview she did with Beck. I think that could have been much better. So, yeah. Don't let her mislead you.
Thousands and thousands of people believing it. It's unfair to me, and it's unfair to Tommy. This is not the first time this reaction channel has done this. They have platformed a few people as long as they were willing to spill tea and share whatever could cause me or other people in my life to look bad for their benefit. There have been some serious.
I will say the one time I did have a big problem with something Jordy did was when he read out Mama Lynn's arrest record. It seemed arbitrary. I mean, yes, he waited until the first time technically we saw her face, but I don't think that should have been the time to talk about it if he was going to talk about it. He should have talked about it the moment we knew that Mama Lynn was going to be in Amber's life, if he really had such an issue with it. It should have been discussed then. And that's just really how I honestly feel about it. Especially with the fact that Mama Lynn's been in recovery. So far as I understand, she is staying in recovery, which might be why her and Amber are apparently not talking, and that's why Amber had to send out the public message towards her that we know that she did, even though she's trying to say that it was just an accident, or she changed the story a few times, so I don't know what the official story is, but we know that she's tried to say it's a few different things, but it seems like they're on the outs right now, and I think that's healthier for Mama Lynn. So Jordy trying to drag Mama Lynn was something I really had an issue with. because it does seem as though she is honestly trying to turn her life around. And, if someone has made improvements like that, I think they should be cheerleaded, not, you know, burned at the stake. That's, I'm, well, again, it's issues with my own biological mother. I wish she had done the things that Mama Lynn did. Not get arrested and spend 5 years in prison, mind you, but, had tried to do better for her kids, get herself clean, you know, actually be there for her children. Mama Lynn is trying, and that should be applauded, not demonized.
Serious misrepresentations made in a recent video on That Reaction channel about an extremely painful chapter in Tommy's life. The video, which talks about a domestic violence situation involving Tommy and her ex, fails to include important facts, so it paints a false and harmful narrative. And I want to be very clear. Tommy is the victim here, not the one at fault. The details in the video were based on inaccurate and incomplete information from a third party with a clear agenda. Someone who has openly stated that their goal was to get revenge for their own personal reasons, and even admitted that they've tried to get revenge in the past. This kind of...
Okay, so basically, she's confirming that this woman is legit. The woman who spoke to Jordy is actually the ex of an ex. So Emily did start fucking around with somebody who was seeing someone else and then started a relationship with them. At least that part of of everything seems to be true. I must have missed the whole domestic abuse thing. So I right now can't comment on that. I mean, I'll hear what Amber has to say, but as far as what is factual, I can't. I've like I said, I need to catch up on the farms, and I did mention that there was some stuff that I knew I was already missing. So this is that.
And the victim shaming is misleading. It's downright disgusting. It wasn't a simple incident in a garage. As you can see from the charges listed about Tommy's ex, there was a weapon involved. A weapon. Please just think about that for a minute. With multiple ways to escape a garage, Tommy couldn't. Think about why. The truth is that her abuser was charged with felony charges for their actions, and Tommy has spent years working on healing and working through trauma her ex caused. A lot of people are saying that Tommy must have provoked her into holding her hostage with a weapon for hours. If that were true, Tommy...
Okay, again, I need to look into this, but I think I recall seeing somewhere that the ex being described in these charges is not the basement ex, which is the ex of the ex. So I'm not even sure what the timeline is in this. But maybe Emily did have an abusive ex in the past. I'm not saying it's not possible. It actually could be the little pebble that was rolled down the snowy hill and why she likes to be a feeder now. I mean, it would make logical sense. That way, Emily is basically the one in charge of the entire relationship. She's in control. Especially if these partners of Emily's are being made immobile, before they pass. Like Emily's ex before Amber. We cannot forget that. Emily's last partner died because of weight issues. Weight issues that the two of them decided to post on a fetish website and celebrate together. So I'm not painting that ex necessarily as a victim, because that's a quagmire. It is. You know, when are they a victim and when are they complicit? You know, that they can make their choices. And that's why I think Amber knows exactly who Emily is in this regard, even though she insists Emily is not a feeder. But this is what Amber wants. She wants to be able to do whatever she wants, and that includes eating whatever she wants. And she finally has someone who is encouraging that. So, again, that's the truth. So, it would make sense if Tommy at some point did have an abusive ex. I'm not saying that part of all this is untrue. I just don't know where it fits into things as far as what Jordy discussed with the ex of the ex. The XX?
Tommy's ex would not have been convicted. Provoking someone or self-defense, it would not have gotten her ex convicted for the millionth time, period. It's incredibly hurtful to see the narrative twisted in this way, and I feel compelled to speak out because no one should ever be made to feel like they are the perpetrator when they are the victim. Domestic violence is a serious issue.
You mean like you did with Casey? You mean that like you already tried to do with Jade? Um, you know, the way you tried to gaslight Destiny, that some of your own abusive antics weren't as such? Amber, you're an abuser. Full stop. Okay? If anything, you know, when everyone's trying to tell you to get out of this relationship because it's dangerous, it's really Emily that should be being told that. I mean, yes, people don't like her because, you know, they find what she enjoys to be gross and dangerous, and well, I mean, I kind of agree. But you're both monsters.
And we should be lifting up those who have suffered, not blaming them. I stand by Tommy because I know the full story, and I've known the full story the whole time. These people have decided to leave out, and I quote, "I don't want to go into details." That is what this person said when talking about Tommy being falsely imprisoned by her ex. Why? Why? Because it would leave people empathizing with Tommy. Instead, this person has exaggerated, lied, left out important information, and continues to create outrage against Tommy because they want revenge. This is the only way they know how to do it, and I want to make something very clear that the abuse that Tommy endured is real, and she deserves justice and support, not ridicule and not doubt. He definitely does not deserve a reaction channel making a spectacle over something that Tommy has spent years trying to heal from. Having this come to light, speculate.
If Emily was smart, the second that the farm started doxing her, she should have cut and run. That's what should have happened. And if somehow, Emily, you come across this, send her home. For all that I have problems with what you do to your partners by the way of feeding, because I promote health and wellness and stuff like that. As much as I have a problem with that, you need to understand the real danger this girl poses to you. Potentially your daughter, if she were to ever be in a situation where she was around her for durations. Do not let her be around your daughter. Please. It will. There are people still needing therapy after being with Amber. Okay? Actual, legit therapy. And people need to remember that.
Speculated about and joked about has left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'll tell you that for sure. I have been distant from YouTube already due to the harsh things that have been said and have been lied about. Certain reaction channels have only gotten worse as the time goes on. My channel has been boring. It went through a law, so they've been starving. Because of that,
a law? You mean a lull. A lull. And the fact that she said law means that she wrote that as such. Girl, spell check your shit. And I know that you write it on your computer, your laptop, whatever the hell you want to call it, before you write it on paper. You've said as such. If you're to be believed, of course. So, edit your shit.
They've lost their minds, and they're actively painting a narrative about Tommy that isn't real, bringing in anonymous strangers to the storyline and believing every...
How can she be anonymous if she is actively going after Emily for revenge? It can't be both things at once, Amber. Make it make sense.
Every word that is being said, all while using the word allegedly. So YouTube terms of service isn't broken by them, and so the law doesn't get involved for actual slander and defamation. If you guys ever wanted to know what slander and defamation looks like, it has been months and months of what Tommy has been experiencing since certain reaction channels found out who she was.
Slander is basically hearsay. People saying things, either they're just outright making up, or things that they've heard from other people that those people made up. That's what slander is. It's basically things said about someone in order to cause damage to their reputation. Again, don't let her gaslight you into what words actually mean. Defamation is slander to the extent that it has actually caused you monetary damages. It has hurt your reputation as far as, your job or however it is you make a living. And thus it has impacted your ability to make money to live. That's, it's as far as taking it for legal, actionable definitions. That's what these things are. That's why, having people actually win defamation cases in court is always said to be so extremely difficult. That's why the whole Depp and Heard case was such a big deal. When Johnny got that win. It was a huge deal because normally that stuff, it's hard to prove. He was able to prove it. She is not giving people the correct terminology of these words. So far as we've heard, nobody has called Emily's place of work and started causing issues there. Of course, if she sees this and then starts saying it now, Amber, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, then we'll know that, you're paying attention to, little channels like mine. And, trying to use us to help you. And then, fuck you. I'm telling you. You're wrong, boo boo. You're wrong.
She was. This has altered Tommy's life, and I have witnessed it. It has also altered mine. Without revealing how, I'm pretty sure it's apparent. Imagine something like this happening to you. Thank you to those who have.
She got the fucking audacity. She was just trying to harangue this not random person seeking out revenge about not going into specifics and then deciding to not go into specifics. You are such an oxymoron, Amber. And yes, I know the word is oxymoron, folks, but Amber kind of takes it to a whole new level. Wouldn't you agree?
Who have been supportive and continue to believe in the truth and don't follow the crowd. I see you. And I'm sorry that the hate and the rumors are louder right now, but I still see you and I love you dearly. To those spreading misinformation, I hope you take a moment to consider the impact your words have and the harm caused.
Oh, yes. See, that's the thing, Amber. I'm debunking your misinformation. Your misinformation. I'm not spreading misinformation. And again, if it was somehow found out, the person that was saying this stuff originally, the X of the X Factor, I'll figure something out. But Deus Ex Machina? Anyway, if I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I don't get too excitable and therefore raise my voice and basically start shouting in people's ears. So if I ever say something that is later found out to be actually untrue, I would apologize to you all. And I would correct myself. I'm not an official journalist in any capacity, but, retracting statements is something I believe in. If you've provided something that was incorrect, you walk it back and you apologize. And, in that same, moment, you provide what is accurate. I was wrong when I was convinced the whole Valentine thing was all a fabrication. I thought Amber was wildly swinging at windmills, just trying to find something that would stick. Um, I really did. Um, because I thought first it was someone before Alexis, and then it was Alexis, and she was just using the same name for the people she was trying to have filled the position, if that makes sense. And so I thought she bought herself the gifts to just help keep that illusion going. And then, Erica and Brittany came out. And for all the clusterfuck that whole situation was, I mean, Amber, they actually proved you don't lie all of the time. So kudos for that. So yeah, it when that's why, again, I'm not delving so much into the domestic violence thing that she was talking about because I don't know enough about it. And, when I do talk about things, I've looked into them as best as I can. When I read articles about something, I share that with you guys. I make sure that they're linked. I do my due diligence to the best of my capability. But, sometimes even with science and studies, people lie. I believe there was the thing that pops to mind immediately was the whole thing where vaccines caused autism. That was submitted as a scientific study that was complete horseshit. Um, and that person basically is now the laughing stock of the scientific community. So, um, you don't want to be that dude. You don't. No matter whatever walk of life you exist in, you don't want to be that dude. Amber is that dude. Okay? Do not be Amber. Don't be Amber. Be Stephen Hawking.
When the real victims are silenced or blamed. It's easy for reaction channels to say whatever they want because they know their words have impact and their audience believes whatever is said to them. This situation just proves it. Tommy was majorly abused, held hostage for hours in a garage with a weapon. And I don't feel comfortable saying what the weapon was, but use your brain for this one, please. And she was finally.
That could be anything. I mean, Geralt of Rivia was eventually, for a time, took a dirt nap because of a pitchfork. Yes, I'm using a story here from a book, but that way YouTube doesn't get on my case. So, she says use your imagination. For all I know, it could have been a weed whacker. It could have been a trowel. It could have been a bike tire. It's a garage. I mean, it could have been the garage door. It could have been a snow shovel. Do you see where this is not the time to not be specific if you want people to actually believe what you're trying to say. You get specific because it's in that specificity. It's when you're specific that people can hear you and go, okay, that makes sense. So that must be true. trying to say you don't want to go into details, that has people press X.
Finally able to escape, and her ex went to prison for it, and now has a felony. But somehow this reaction channel was able to manipulate their audience into believing that
Manipulate. No, it's manipulate. Say words right. Go on to YouTube and have a video play where the word is said repeatedly. They usually give you spaces in between each repetition so you can say it as well. You know, in a more recent video, I believe, where, you know, at least I think I did it in front of everyone, you know, I wanted to be able to appropriately pronounce my gastric sleeve surgery's doctor's name. It's Ver. It's very French. There's like 2 L's in there and an EUX, I think. I've forgotten the spelling now because I learned the pronunciation, because they don't look at all alike. But I did. I went onto YouTube and I found a way to, you know, say it. So, girl, do better.
that Tommy is the abuser. This is why victims do not share their story. And the sad thing is, Tommy didn't share hers. Someone else did. And it wasn't even the right story. It's unfair, it's twisted, and it's morally wrong. This isn't a game. This isn't for money. This isn't for views. This is Tommy's real life that is being ruined.
You're right. It isn't for money, and it wasn't for views. The girl doesn't have a YouTube channel. She might have a YouTube account to watch videos, but she doesn't have a YouTube channel. She has like the typical, you know, suburban woman social media: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, that stuff. And she just posts like most other people. She's not a content creator. That's not what she does. So I know she might be just trying to make it seem like both she and Jordy are doing that for these reasons, but I mean, yeah, of course, Jordy's a reaction channel. It's obvious that, you know, he gives us teas to make money. I'm not gonna fault him for that. That's what he does. I mean, I'm trying to get monetized so I can make money off of my content, you know, whether that's commentary or, you know, I mean, showing you all my life. It's, you know, we all have our different things. So, Amber, stop trying to be holier than thou because, well, don't you have a problem with holes? Allegedly.
Ruined, and her mental health is being destroyed. The victim blaming, all because people want drama and someone to hate, is the grossest thing I've ever seen happen on Girl World. And thank you, Jordy.
No, the grossest thing was when you admitted. Okay, so there's 2 grossest things. When you admitted that you were basically bleeding continuously for 2 years and did nothing about it, and, you know, your potato story. Those are the grossest things to happen in Girl World. Well, okay, your potato story and Chantal's Linda Blair failed threesome.
For reminding me why I hate this community and why I do not belong here anymore. This should have never happened.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I'd say don't let the door hit you on the way out, but you waddle so slowly that even if it was like an automatic door, you wouldn't clear in time.
I should not have had to do this. Tommy should not have had her personal domestic violence abuse story used for views and money on a reaction channel.
Then she should not have started dating you. She got the heads up when she was doxxed through the farms. She knew what she was getting into. And yet, here we are. I guess she didn't really think, because again, the woman isn't actually a content creator. I don't think the ex of the ex, she really thought she was going to speak out. Oh, excuse me, this random stranger that doesn't know Emily at all. Again, pick a lane, stick with it. Because when you contradict yourself, that just exposes how big of a fucking liar you are. And, oh god, that's so frustrating. You love being a professional victim, and now you're trying to have Emily be the same thing for your benefit. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. She had the chance to go. She still has the chance to go. She should really be having you go home. She needs to get you out of her life. You are not worth it. Absolutely not. She needs to go back to people that aren't known outside of her community. She really should. And yeah, girl, run. At least you'll get places faster than Amber can.
That's not a reaction. That is downright hatred. And people wonder why I don't want to upload. People wonder where I am.
Girl, bye.
Why do I seem so sad every time I come on camera? This is why. Because before, it was, Amber Lynn's so fat. She needs to lose weight. Step on the scale. But now things are serious. Reaction channels have more.
You were always serious to me. Okay, maybe like the first couple of times I watched you, because Shauna Steele doesn't really cover you in this manner. So, just being honest. But once I found you through other people, then I started seeing how you really are. So, yeah, this isn't because you're a fatty. I'm also a fatty. This has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. This is about you being a garbage pail kid. Ambulatory Ambi. And eventually, I'm actually going to draw that because it'll be so fun. It will. It'll be fun and it'll be funny. Ambulatory Ambi. And if you know Garbage Pail Kids, you know.
Morphed into something that is despicable. While I'm trying to improve my life and myself as a person and work on my BPD, reaction channels have...
You slipped up, girl. You admitted, was it in your last video, that you're not officially diagnosed. You didn't outright say it, but it's in there. So I suggest people go back to, well, check out Mr. Snowflake, check out Nerfy, especially Nerfy's lives. Nerfy covered this. Actually, look at Nerfy's last video where she covered Amber's last few videos before this one. It's in there. And Nerfy actually has the BPD diagnosis. She is actually seeing people to help, well, a person at least, to have it treated. She is on medications to help some of the symptoms, as she's referred to it. And she's been open about this. She's open about it, I believe, in that video. So, you know, to me, Nerfy's kind of an expert in this. And so I'm definitely going to take her word on it when even she pointed out where you fucked up and you're not officially diagnosed.
Have gotten worse. They're morphing into monsters. I'm not saying all of them because that's not the case, but there are a few. I should not be kicked off of a platform that I have been on for 11 years because I am this harassed. There's a difference between.
Then stop being a trash person, and maybe we wouldn't have these things to say about you. Think on that. Because you know what? I've maybe gotten 3 trolley comments so far in about the year that I've been posting comments or content. Maybe 3, you know? And the most recent one was someone talking about that I should make my content shorter. As I look at the time, and well, as you can see in the top right corner, I'm going on like an hour and 20 minutes. And my response was, well, people tell me they like to just put on my stuff and then they go about like doing their house cleaning and stuff like that, and they actually prefer the fact that I go on and on. And their only response was to actually laugh at my response. So I don't know if I won them over or if I kind of lost them as a result. I mean, I understand that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm I'm neurodivergent in at least the fact that I have ADHD, and I know that I just don't think in the way that normal people do. I know that much. And so, that's why I always say that I appreciate, and I do, everyone that does subscribe to me, everyone that does comment, everyone that does watch me. I do. I appreciate the ever living fuck out of every one of you, because that means something to me. And I hope by now I have established through my videos that, unlike Amber, Bizarro Amber right here, me, that, I tell the truth as often as I breathe. and that it is something that I mean to the bottom of my monkey toes. I do. And so even with the fact that I named my channel the way I did, Diary of a Recovering Fatty, I was a little nervous that maybe some people would be upset with me with the way I decided to do it. But, it was a really apt channel name. It was fun, funny. It was really going to tell people what was going to be here. Um, that primarily, above everything else, it's about me. Even this video, the fact that I'm pausing it so much, that I'm talking so much, these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, these are, my impressions. It's my diary. So you kind of get what you put out. I've said that before. I'm a firm believer in that. And so, Amber, if you're feeling this way, you only have yourself to blame. But of course, you blame everyone and everything around you, and you never point that finger in the mirror. And yes, I know my Bostonian just slipped there. but but seriously, you have to self-reflect, to really understand yourself, to be able to fix things when there are issues, if you can fix them. Because again, things like autism, I mean, you can only do so much. But, a big step in that is self-reflection. And it's something I'm constantly doing. I mean, you can catch moments where I'm doing it, in real time on my videos, where I realize something about myself, just kind of spitballing at you guys about something else. So yeah, I mean, even the way that Amber and I do our channels, they're vastly different. And well, I'm really glad that's the case. If I'm being honest right now, because I don't get this stuff that she gets, and the fact that she's calling it harassment, and the fact that the people commenting are haters. That's not what it is. She's not being harassed. People are just telling her to stop her bullshit, which they wouldn't be doing if she wasn't trying to feed people bullshit. They're just being honest to her lies. They're reacting honestly to the content she's putting out. And she doesn't like it. That is the truth.
Online hate versus straight up harassment that is destroying mine and my girlfriend's mental health and life. It's not okay. And I don't know what else to say about it. Every time I express myself, I am met with invalidation and I am gaslighted into feeling this small.
You're not gaslighted. I think the appropriate terminology is gaslit for the past tense. People correct me if I'm wrong, because I'd rather be right. I'm pretty sure it's gaslit. But, it is funny how those who gaslight often accuse others of gaslighting them. I'm just going to point out that little bit of ironic truth. It's sort of like when people are cheaters and they accuse their partners of cheating, and they do it repeatedly. In fact, even if that partner has given absolutely no evidence that they're cheating, and of course they're not cheating, but of course the partner that's cheating is expecting it because they themselves are the ones cheating. So, Amber, great job exposing yourself yet again.
I am gaslighted into believing that I deserve this or that Tommy deserves this when we don't. So many of you scream, Tommy isn't good for you, Tommy's gonna hurt you, but it's being
Oh, not me. I think you saw the service done for Tommy's recent ex, and you decided that this is the life you want. You made that choice, just like Eugenia Cooney has made her choice to be as unhealthy as she is. You're doing the exact same thing, just to the other extreme. I believe it was Tiny Blue Anthropologist, hi Tiny, that said similar recently. And yeah, No, I'm not going to tell you to run because honestly, for everything that you've inflicted on people like Casey and Crystal and Beck, and I guess even to Destiny, and well, I mean, the accusations that you kind of threw at Feline, even yeah, I think that this is going to be a nice piece of karma for you to eat, and like that potato, I kind of hope you choke on it.
Screamed by the people who are actively every single day hurting me. You don't care. You don't care about me. You don't care about my well being. You get high off of the drama that my life brings to your channel. So you get views. And for the people watching and engaging in this sort of behavior, you are just as awful. This is a girl that is hurt.
If I'm actually awful and commenting and engaging in this, then I guess I am. But I don't want the people that potentially watch me thinking that your behavior, your lies, that they're okay, that they're truth, that they could act like you and it's actually considered good or normal. Not normal either, but you're the wrong kind of abnormal, where I'm the fun kind of abnormal.
It's hurt. This is a girl that has been beaten and beaten and beaten, and it's like it only just keeps getting worse. And I personally don't know how much more I can take. I truly don't.
Bye.
This sort of behavior should not be allowed on YouTube. And I really hope that one day my voice is heard. If you are currently suffering with
fuck you!
Domestic violence hotline that you can call. You are not alone. The number is 800-799-7233, or you can text BEGIN to 88788. Do not let...
Okay, if you're actually in a bad relationship, absolutely follow this. But I'm sorry, I had a moment of honesty there, honesty Tourette's, as I call it, because it's performative. Amber putting it here at the end of her video, it's performative. She is trying to get more people on her side. I mean, she's probably going to get people like herself, Amber Heard. Why is it that a lot of shitty people are named Amber? Not all. I'm just saying some. I mean, not all Karens are bad, but my biological mother's named Karen. So, you know, I don't like using absolutes. I don't. Unless it actually applies, I don't tend to use it. Unless I'm also being, like, hyperbolic. So, that's... you know, sarcastic me, I'll use absolutes. But in real talk, as people will sometimes call it, like, no. I don't. Tom had a habit of using absolutes and it annoyed the fucking piss out of me. So yeah, don't use absolutes and don't use shit like this to try to get viewers, you know. But absolutely, if you I mean, I'm not suggesting that children watch me by any means, but if one is, you know, this applies to you as well. Like if you have parents that are horrible monsters, if you're living with some sort of humanish monster at all, absolutely use this information. Full stop. Because you don't deserve it. No matter what they tell you, it doesn't matter if they helped in your creation into this world. You deserve better. And use whatever resource you can to get out of it. Please. I want everyone and anyone who can hear my voice to be happy and healthy and not be with Ambers. This sort of Amber. Just so we're clear. You know, don't. I mean, again, we've heard from some of our exes, you know, look at Mr. Snowflake's Victims of an Empath. You can see the lasting damage this does to people. I exhibit the lasting damage this sort of stuff can do to people. Don't let that be you. Love yourself enough. Be brave enough to get yourself help. You know, it's yeah, is go, making sure that you do things like public assistance or disability. Is that a proud way to live your life? No. But at least it's your life. And you can work to change that eventually, you know? Take control and be brave.
But stories like these, like victim shaming or victim blaming, scare you into not getting help because there are people who are there for you. Use your voice. You are loved and not alone.
She is so fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm more upset with this bit than. But I didn't know this was coming up. So again, you're getting honest feels. And since Nerfy won't be watching this until at least after she comments on this, oh, you're gonna rage about this, and I am so sorry. I understand, and I love your face. Um, but yeah, I'm just leaving this up for now because, I mean, it's important. Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts now, but it's fuck. You know, I wanted to, of course, have more fun with this than be serious, but let's be honest, I find myself often picking these videos to comment on because I want to make sure that serious attention is brought to Amber's behavior. I mean, I also, have that kind of Irish dark humor, and so there's moments where I do poke fun, but um, the fact that she is still every day, every breath, she's the victim, you guys. She's the victim. She's always the victim. We're the horrible monsters. No. If anything, like I've watched enough Supernatural that I'm so a hunter, dude. So a hunter. Maybe a demon possessed hunter, but yeah. Um and yes, I know I'm late to watching that show. I think I'm now on season 12. Um but I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But guys, know that if you ever want to talk about things, I mean, especially if you have access to my social media, you're welcome to reach out to me and talk about these things. But of course, I'm going to suggest that you try to do official steps to help protect your mental health. You know, talking to a doctor, talking to a psychologist or a therapist at least. Um, putting in the work to help yourself. But, I will be happy to be a sounding board, you know, try to give you ideas about how to approach things. I've done that for friends of mine already, and it's kind of my love language. Mother henning is my love language. It makes me happy. It's how I show that I care about people. It's sometimes, the actions speak louder, as it were. I'm a believer in that. Um, so, you know, if you ever need to talk about anything, I'm here. There will be a link for the Discord community. We have a mental health section, and you will be welcome to talk to anyone in there. Sometimes people just share things and people comment on it. And in the mental health section, not the health and wellness, but the mental health section, that gets cleared every 24 hours, just so things don't hang around. We don't keep people's dirty laundry, as it were. So it's a safe space, um, because we're building a community that cares. We do care about people. We're not this community. We're not Amber's community. We're we're all kind of bizarro Ambers in our own ways. And that's a great place to be. I honestly think so. So yeah, that'll be down in the description. I still have forgotten to talk about or talk to Casey. So hashtag gang, ADHD gang. I can talk. It's also after 1:30 in the morning. um, so that'll also be down there. The link for Macari will be down there. The link for my link tree will be down there, which will have like my PayPal and my Cash App and some wish lists. They will also be down there. The I broke things down into different categories. That's why there's so many wish lists. Sorry, but I'd like to keep things organized. Um, Nothing is expected, but anything is appreciated. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the video. You be the judge. If you like comment or content like this, or like my gym update videos, or you want to follow me as I continue on my gastric sleeve surgery journey, which I do have a surgery date, January 15th. So just another way I am Bizarro Amber. I'm actually moving forward with it and I'm excited. Um, I truly am working on improving my life. And so if you want to see things more like this, more like the other stuff I provide, please subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure to turn on notifications. I usually post at least 3 times a week. Sometimes there are bonus videos like this, but usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do gym updates, or like if I go to a doctor's appointment once I get home, usually the first thing I'm doing is taking off my socks and shoes while recording an update for you guys. Kind of like Mr. Rogers. Some of you might be too young to get that, but um, Mr. Rogers was a thing. I, you know, I want to share so much with everybody to help give people knowledge and education and strength to, to take their own lives into their own hands and do the fucking things that they need to do to be happy. Um, that's why I show that even though I'm going through all the things that I'm going through, you know, I could be happier, but I'm not miserable. I'm far from. And yeah, so um everyone who subscribes, I appreciate it so much. Questions, comments, concerns, please drop them down below. If you don't notice, even if I'm late to responding, I usually try to at least heart comments. Um, but I try to get back to everyone. I do. Because that's something that matters to me. I mean, if I ever actually get big, it might get a little crazy for me, but I still want to try because I do. I appreciate each and every one that listens to me, even for a minute. Um, that means something to me, and I hope in time that I can properly express it. So I love you guys. Go fuck yourselves, and we'll talk again soon.